I also wanted to show you guys the doors. I don't think I got a lot of video or photos of the doors, but if I remove this, you will see the Audio Development W800 Neo that we have down here. Now, this is a pretty fine mid bass. This is a damn good mid bass for this application. It's pretty shallow and it fits. As you can see, it's rotated horizontally. That's because the terminals are a little bit deeper than the basket is, and they were hitting the guide rail for the window, so we did have to rotate it a bit. No worries. So just a heads up, if you do want to put these in your Model S, they will fit. It's going to be tough to see since it's very dark in there, but we did use a closed cell foam ring around its perimeter to help direct the sound into the cabin instead of letting it leak behind the door panel itself. On the outer skin of the doors, we used Resonix CLD squares to help deaden, as well as black hole tiles to help absorb the rear wave and deaden even further. Then on the inner skin, we also used Resonix CLD squares and Resonix FD1 closed cell foam to help decouple the door panel from the door skin. We also used butyl rope to help, get in little nooks and crannies to prevent rattles, and as well as in between the outer door skin and the crash bars to help reduce resonance even further. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have to dig through our video to see if I got any of this. I will, I'll check, but just in case, there's a little rundown. Overall, these things have been great. It's been a great application for them. They have a ton of mid-bass output, even though they are only receiving 120 watts, which, it's more than enough for most people, but I know a lot of you guys want a lot more. We did do a good job, I think, deadening the doors. So far, we have 0 detectable rattles. With all the demoing and testing I've been doing over the past 2 days, I have not heard a single rattle that concerns me. So yeah, that's what we got so far, but So yeah, that's what we did with the doors. Worked out very well, along with the GB10s and GB25s in the pillars. And it makes a great combo in this car and many other cars. So if you can fit an 8, but you don't have a lot of depth, this is our go-to. And I definitely recommend it to other people if it fits your application, which it usually does. This is a very versatile driver. Can take very small sealed enclosures if needed, and can also handle door applications, infinite baffle for the most part. So it can handle a wide variety of situations that you can throw at it. It can handle a ton of power, has a ton of output, and it sounds great doing it. So yeah, if you're looking for a shallow 8, this is probably the one for you. Hey everyone, the Model S install is officially complete. We recently buttoned up the trunk, got the director panel installed and got the director installed, got everything tuned up, and took care of the OEM integration. This one was pretty fun. The install was definitely something that, you know, pushed me, especially the pillars. These ones so far are my favorite ones to date. The trunk was a little interesting too. I tried some new techniques that I haven't really done before. But yeah, let's take a look at the trunk, what it looks like finished up. You guys saw everything else already. So I don't know if I explained this already, but the goal for this trunk was to save space. We did not want to take up any real estate in the back here, but we were allowed to take up space underneath the cargo area. So if I open this up, you will see the Audio Frog GB12 hidden behind the grill, as well as, you know, and well, you don't really see it, but we have the Zapco 1KD and the Helix P6, as well as an Audison digital converter piece that handles everything else. So the Helix P6 is handling the amplification of the front speakers, it's handling the processing, and it's handling the OEM integration. The OEM integration was relatively straightforward in this car. It wasn't anything crazy. All we needed to grab was tweeter, mid-range, and mid-bass signal, and then use a little bit of input EQ. No summing was needed as long as we went to the appropriate channels. So what we got going on here is this design I came up with. I came up with a rendering, as you probably saw in this video, if I include it. I sent it over to the owner and he approved it. So we have a few trim panels, all of them wrapped in Alcantara, which matches the factory Alcantara. The owner also has a lot of carbon fiber trim up front, and you can see here we did carbon fiber trim pieces just to accent it. What we didn't do is, this is real carbon fiber, this is not vinyl. What I didn't do is use epoxy or any other resin to coat it. That's because the carbon fiber that he used up front, he did use a vinyl. I wanted to match it. I didn't want them to look different, so I did use raw carbon fiber, and it looks to be a pretty good match. A little detail that I want to point out here is if you look at the weave, it follows the angle of the trim piece. The camera's having a little trouble focusing right now, but hold on. Follows the angle of the trim piece, which to me was a pretty nice touch. I originally made it just doing, just laying the piece on the weave, and then I realized, I was like, wait, that doesn't really look right. So I redid them, wrapped them in a certain direction that follows, the same angle. This middle piece here with the Tesla logo, underneath it you could see we also wrapped it in raw carbon as well, and that weave is actually running vertically right up the middle. The logo on top is actually done with Alumimark metal. It's a thin sheet of aluminum, or I think it's aluminum, and it's able to be laser engraved. So I use that to our advantage to, make a nice little logo. It matches the OEM trim. If you look up front, there's a lot of, it's black and silver, and this is, like the same black and silver back here. The grill is a double press. We have the press on the outside, and then we have the press for the insert. That was a little difficult. Took a few tries, took a couple hours to get it right. And then, yeah, just a standard acrylic and LEDs. Moving on to the front. We do have the director mounted in the OEM cup holder area, as well as the coaxial cable for the FiO that he has, the FiO digital audio player, which, you know, is going to bypass the OEM radio and, you know, give us a better signal for when he wants it. Even though the OEM radio is more convenient, some people do want the best source possible. We finished this off. Also, it's kind of tough to see. You know, it's very dark in here, very dark down there. It is wrapped in Alcantara as well. And, you know, we have the pillars done. Everything's tuned. The owner will be here within the hour to pick it up. And maybe I'll take a video showing his reaction. So stay tuned.